What's up, all of you out there? Welcome to the first official episode of Viper Talk. This is your host, Viper X, and welcome to the Talkshow room. Anytime we come in here and we do these episodes, this is what you're going to see. This is where I'm going to be at. And sitting next to me on my right-hand side is going to be a guest. Most of the time, that's probably going to be Slappy, but you will expect to see other guests on here. And why are we going to bring in guests? Why are we doing this whole thing in general? Because this now gives us a place to do the things that we don't normally do when we're on stream. And that I mean by way of talking. Usually when we're live streaming, we like to keep everything about gaming. And when I say we, I mean myself, Slappy, other streamers that you've seen that are part of the so-called Viper Pit. This is going to give us a platform to come in here and discuss all manner of anything that you can imagine. So we're not just going to be focusing on gaming here. We could potentially talk about current events, things going on in the internet world, in the streaming world, in the real world. Who knows what you're going to find here? They could be sensitive topics. They could be popular topics. They could be not so popular topics. Anything will be approached objectively, though. And of course, as you can imagine, we're going to have a good time with this whole thing. So for this first episode, we do have a guest appearance here for you, and it is indeed Slappy. He's coming in here with me, and he's going to discuss a horror meme that I had discovered on Facebook. I'm sure he's seen it too, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to critique this horror meme because this particular meme is very problematic. If you're a horror fan anyway, you're going to see this thing and you're going to be like, what is this all about? Which is exactly what I did. And then I decided to go to my friend Slappy, who is a horror fan just like I am. He had quite a mouthful to say about it, and I was like, wait, hold it. Let's jump on into the Viper Pit and give these people our 2 cents. So, like, that meme that I showed you on fucking Facebook is completely and utterly... And the reason why I brought it up is because this stupid thing, like, every year, this stupid thing continuously comes up. I always see it. And every year, like, being the horror fan that I am, I'm like, oh my God, this is not... what is this? This is... There are so many inaccuracies with this that it's unfucking believable. So, like, now that I'm showing you're seeing this here. Like, what do you think of this menagerie? Oh my God. I can definitely, I could start, like I said, I could start by saying that I could tell you who got the most kills out of all of them on there and why this thing is wrong. For one reason, this meme makes me feel like they're leaving movies out. Whoever created this meme is probably selective in what movies they either like or have seen.
Well, you also got to take in consideration there's been now, at this point, what, 3 new movies that came out in recent years?
Right? Who knows when this meme was made? Who knows when this meme was made? But this is important because, like, there are people out there who see these memes and they think, like, this is the information this is it. Like, welcome to the fucking internet age of this day. Let's see what listofdeaths.fandom.com says for Jaws. Because I kind of like what they do here. Because what they do is they list everything that has these people in it. And they go by victim. And then they give you a total count underneath that. And they move to the next one. And then you get to the bottom of that and you get a total. So let's see. Total number 37 of 37 kills.
You're going to need a bigger boat, right?
30 humans, 7 animals.
7 animals? When does that happen?
I mean, there is. They pull animal remains out of the shark in the first movie for sure. And there's a dog. There's a dog that gets killed. That everybody. What the fuck? What is the dog's name? This says 30. That says 22. The other thing I just pulled up says 18.
That's a 20-footer. 25.
What the? Freddy Krueger. I think I'm going to go ahead and say that that's definitely wrong. 42. What about you? Between all of his movies, including Freddy vs. Jason, because that's included.
I gotta be honest, not
42. It says here.
There's no way that it's that low. There's no way that's that low. It has to be. I thought it was 60s. last I had seen in my mind, and just remembering the numbers.
Let's see now what the good old.
However, I could be wrong, and it could be like 50s. But are we also counting Freddy vs. Jason?
So list
Because
of
we're counting
fandom,
Freddy
list of
Jason.
fandoms here. Which, to be honest, with this being a fandom wiki, I might
Actually,
actually trust this more than anything else. No.
Would I? You know what? Here's the real question: are we counting Mortal Kombat that came out in 2011? Are we counting his appearance in that?
Well,
Because that's definitely if that counts, it's 100%.
you're gonna like this. So the fandom is counting Wes Craven's New Nightmare, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Final Nightmare, Freddy vs. Jason, Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I don't know if I would count that, not because of the movie being bad or good, but because it's a remake. I don't know if that number matters. Comic books, Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, The Nightmare Warriors. So if you count all that together,
minimum 60.
it says total for all of this together 92. But if we're going with original timeline, 79. Just movies 79.
Okay, so
that's, and like 79, yeah.
So blows 42 out of the window.
Like, it's, yeah, Michael Myers with 29 kills. I don't even want to get started with that, because there's 3 different fucking universes to Michael Myers. And
ooh, well,
are we really gonna branch off and count all these people from all these different? This one doesn't count. That one doesn't count.
You don't know what death is.
Well, if we're counting every universe, then the number is higher, and that's just that. It's higher.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be, if we're counting all of the different branches, I would say so. Leprechaun. I haven't seen all the Leprechaun movies. I'm just gonna level with you here.
Let's play Surgeon.
No.
I haven't seen all of them. However, I still don't believe that the answer is 58. I feel like it's more. I feel like there was one Leprechaun movie where he did like a massacre of like a whole bunch of people in like a Vegas like magic showroom. I could be wrong.
The gold inside will soon be mine.
Leatherface. That's another one that 31 kills between now up to this point, 2023, with all the movies that have come out, including the remakes and all the different branches. That sounds like that is not even close to correct. What are we looking at now? Leatherface, which the names of him change. What is it? Is it the Sawyer family, or the what was the other name for them?
Boy.
Shut up, you bitch hog.
No, close. There was another name for them.
Did it start with an H?
The Hewitts.
Thank you.
So we don't even know, like, we're
I knew it started with an H.
yeah, you got it. That was it. It's the Sawyers and the Hewitts. But like, I don't know if I'm just getting it mixed up. Maybe they're related. Who the fuck knows? It's this thing here says 31. That the meme here says 31. But
Okay.
But the list of deaths at the fandom. Remember that thing, that number I just threw at you, the 31 that matches the meme. That's on your first search, your first thing that comes up. But we know, you and I, being of AOL age, know you don't ever trust the first thing that pops up.
That's why we got multiple options to check through.
So, by film,
3 days later.
the total is 64 by film, from 1974 to 2022. I think that includes 2022. That would be the newest one that came out recently. So that total is 64. If we're going by comic book series to be announced, so 64 versus 31 on here. But here, the bread and butter, the fun part, the whole reason why this meme is bullshit to begin with. Hellraiser, not Hellraiser, Pinhead, not Pinhead either. Because if we want to talk fucking semantics here, that's Hell Priest. 50 kills. You fucking people embarrass me.
First off,
I'm gonna let you do it.
add another digit because it's definitely minimum 3 digits. It ain't under 2. It ain't under 99.
At least people, and I'm gonna tell you, and Slap,
Maybe add a solid 100 onto that number. That
Slappy here is gonna help me explain this to you. I'm gonna curveball him. I don't know if you have expected this to pop up as part of this whole argument. So the reason why I and anyone else who comes from New York City knows that man killed at least several hundred people in that building was
in that nightclub.
That was a nightclub that was in Hell's Kitchen, which is a very, very, very popular place, especially in the early 90s for going to places like nightclubs. Not only was it a nightclub, but it was a multi-venue. It was a concert hall. It was a nightclub. It was a bar. It was a restaurant. Do you fucking know how many people were in there at any given point in time, as popular as the movie made it seem like a place to be?
Shall we begin?
When he closes the doors to that place and starts piling bodies on top of each other. So, in short, the Hell Priest gets more kills than any of the horror movie characters did. He gets more kills in just fucking a couple of minutes of film. All of them doing their whole careers. Not to shit talk any of them. That's not what we're doing here. But
you could probably combine the big ones. You can combine Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers.
Combine some of them, and it still wouldn't be higher.
And it still would not be the amount that Pinhead and Hellraiser has
the
killed.
Other curveball since
just in that movie alone.
Just in the movie alone. But now the other curveball is the lore behind that. Hell Priest is the Hell Priest of a realm of hell. He sits there and how many times has he been called to the physical world to drag some poor asshole down there? The amount of kills that Pinhead has is something that I guess it's not even fair to bring it into the argument. But hey, y'all want to make memes and throw them out there and make them law. So I guess we have to bring out the nuclear bombs.
My personal argument is that I personally believe, and I'm a little biased. I personally believe Jason has the actual most kills out of all of them. If we are 100% excluding that whole ass dance club. Because that dance club literally is like the chunk of Pinhead's kills.
From the third movie that we're talking about.
If we were removing that whole atrocious massacre, that straight up Carrie scene of like, you're all gonna die in here now.
It just goes to show that like, because you would go into the comment section of the post of this meme and take a look at the people literally fighting each other over the semantics of this fucking thing, and not a single one, or maybe one or two people out of the 100 comments is like, what about Pinhead? And of course I'm sitting there like, fucking Christ, what about him? Like, is there anyone else that you'd like to throw into the kill count? Why isn't Jason mentioned? Everybody's favorite, Mr. Jason Voorhees. Why isn't he thrown in here?
When I had seen this meme, and the first time I saw this meme, and I didn't see Jason on here, immediately just from a quick glance, I was like, fuck this meme.
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
I was like, forget this. This meme knows nothing. If you don't even have... I was like, you have Jaws on here, but you don't have Chucky? I'm like, how does that work? You have
Chucky, you got me. Yeah, there's no Chucky.
You have Leprechaun on here, but you don't have Jason Voorhees? The hell with you. I always had like a love-hate relationship with the Child's Play character in just like movies, and there's a lot. He has a high-ranking kill count, probably higher than everyone on here except maybe Michael.
And now, given at the time 2023, we've had 2 seasons of the TV show that were out, regardless of what people think about it. That whole thing counts as canon, so we have to count kills into that too.
and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi fucking ho.
I watched one random episode because I had to go to the hospital and stay overnight. And in doing so, on TV, I was looking for whatever was on. And the Child's Play series was on. I was like, sure, I'll watch one of these episodes. And it was a pretty dope episode.
We have to switch places again. No, hold on a second. What about me? I go back to being Jennifer Tilly? Now that Jennifer Tilly is a criminal on the lam? Sorry, Jennifer, I don't make the rules. Dombola does.
And it was definitely not the first episode, but it was definitely not the last. But it was enough for me to be like, well, now I kind of want to know why.
It piqued the curiosity. Sometimes that's what we need, man. Just a little bit of a poke. Regardless of all of them, or like anyone else we could have put on there. We could have put Tall Man in there. We could have put Pumpkinhead in there. We could have thrown Candyman. We could have put him in. You want to talk about one that, like, who knows how many people he's killed too?
Candyman. Yeah, why is it Candyman?
Where's he at?
Also, you want to know who has a absurdly high kill count that is super, like, unnoticed and under the radar? Hannibal Lecter.
He does it again with the amazement.
Hannibal Lecter has more kills than Freddy Krueger.
Probably.
100%.
I think I would give it that, yeah.
Hannibal, if we're and I'm not even going based on the novels, but there is a significantly higher kill count. I think it's like 100 and something. It's like a little over 100, I think.
That'll give people something to debate about in the comments section of this, about like how, what is it? Because I know that there's books, there's movies, there's TV shows. So like and we're talking about past, present, and maybe even future actions of Hannibal Lecter throughout all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Then again, if you want to go even deeper, what about Norman Bates? The whole the arguable almost start of the whole slasher like craze. So what'd you think of that, huh? Pretty cool, I think. Now, there's actually a whole bigger exchange between me and Slappy from that night. We get into a whole bunch of different topics within about a 30-minute long just thing that we were doing, just sitting there chitty-chatting. So I wanted to take the specifics of that meme breakdown, put it into this episode. But there's another thing from that exchange that I wanted to make sure got into this episode too, as me and Slappy were talking about our experiences working in haunted houses and how that led to us learning a little science behind how fear works. We got into the topic of haunted houses, which myself and Slappy have been. Slappy still does it. For me, it was years back, but we've both worked in the haunted house industry. He still does it as well. And one of our mutual close friends from Staten Island is running a haunted house this year. He's done it for several years in a row now, and I'm going to show you the portion where Slappy explains what that is to you. If you're a resident of New York City, especially Staten Island, and you haven't checked out the haunted house at the Chrysler Mansion during the October season, do me a solid and go check that out. Do the Viper Pit a solid and go check that place out. But let's have Slappy explain to you what exactly the Chrysler Mansion is.
I'm doing the Chrysler Mansion on Staten Island haunted house. That is happening up until the very last weekend of Halloween, and I'm going to be there for the weekend of Halloween doing it.
Well, this is a perfect moment for me.
I can't get enough.
To actually, I'm gonna break it here real fast.
What
is the Chrysler Mansion? Like, let people know like what that is here.
The Chrysler Mansion is a historical house on Staten Island, New York, that has been around for 100+ years. There's a lot of lore to it. The most notable being that there were mobsters that were killed there and left there,
chopped up and shit. It was bad,
and that there was many people in general that were left there, and that it is an actual haunted house. It is in 4500 Arthur Kill Avenue. It's like the ass end of Staten Island, closer to Jersey. Mm-hmm. But either way, there is someone that has been running a haunted house through it since 2019. It is basically a haunted house within a haunted house, if you will. Haunted houseception. It's called Slaughterhouse in New York City, and it's at the Chrysler Mansion, and it started September 30th, ends October 29th, and it's like 7 p.m. to midnight. that you can get the tickets. Doesn't mean it ends at midnight, but you have from like 7 p.m. to midnight to get tickets. So you could be going through this haunted house at like 1 in the morning, depending on how long the lines are. And I've seen it firsthand. $35, it's not bad. And what's it called? You get like a haunted hayride as well. So you're on a haunted hayride and then you go through the house. And if you pay like $45, you like cut to the line. Kind of like, think of literally Fright Fest. Like that.
So we'll provide links here and all that type of stuff, and I'm going to show you the trailer to the Chrysler Mansion, which is going to pop up here in this break. Thank you. And that takes care of that for our first episode of Viper Talk. That whole exchange between Slappy and I was something that we did on our own time on Discord, and I had recorded it video. I wanted to make sure that that exchange got in here for this first episode, but a lot of the other things that Slappy and I do, you're going to see him right here in the studio with me. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, but stay tuned for more content that's going to come out here on this show. So if you guys like this show, make sure that you're following the Viper Pit channel over on YouTube. Make sure that you like this particular video, and make sure you throw on your notifications too, because this is the only place that full episodes of Viper Talk are going to be posted. You can make sure that you're following our Facebook and our Instagram as well too, because any reels that we put out there to kind of preview you guys of these full episodes, that's where they're going to go. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. This episode is now concluded, but after each episode, you can expect to see some kind of pre-recorded content or just any kind of content in general. We like to do things here kind of in an old school television format. Think of a mix between Toonami, MTV, late night stuff. So if you see a music video at the end, or a trailer or an ad that's made by one of our content creators here that joins us, don't be surprised. And I hope you enjoy everything that you see here. This is Viper X signing out, and I'm going to catch you guys on the next episode. Take it easy, folks.